We are brave, we are young.
Leave up your head as we take on the world. We are one, we are all family.
Though tough times come, I will not waver. We will rise and be conquering new ground.
We will stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand and they stand. We know IQI is for you as it has been for me.
Open your heart and know this in your soul. Our hopes, our dreams are the same.
My vow to you, I will finish this race, not alone, by myself, but with you.
Though tough times come, I will not waver. We will rise and be conquering new ground.
We will stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand and be stand. We know IQI is for you as it has been for me. Everyone shine. All of us here is for a reason, for a leader we shine.
Stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand and let's stay. We know IQI is for you as it has been for me.
We will stand up and rise together. We will march into victory. Hold my hand and let's stand. We know IQI is for you as it has been for me.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year and welcome to our first IQI Australia Friday Prop Talk in 2022. My name is Lee Yan and I'm your host this evening. We are broadcasting live from the world number 6 most livable city, Perth, Western Australia. Now, we are very proud to have that title last year, and of course, we hope we get to stay in the top 10 moving forward. And we are very lucky, actually. Perth has been actually named by many people as a safe haven in terms of how we have managed the pandemic in the last couple of years. So as of today, we only have about 1,276 reported cases of COVID since the pandemic. So that's not early this year, but since the pandemic. So it has been very, very well managed. So we are very, very blessed. Yep, that's why we got the name of the world most livable city, like number 6, last year. Anyway, today we're not going to talk about the COVID, and I believe things will change a little bit when we open our border in February. So everyone, do the right thing and do what the public health has recommended. Get vaccinated and protect yourself. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about New Year. Yeah. So New Year, we all love New Year's. And other than a big long holiday, of course, New Year is the best time for everyone to rethink about or reflect on what happened last year and rediscover and actually reset your goals and priority. So with that in mind, we just thought 2022, our first Friday Pop Talk. There's nothing more exciting and more empowering to invite our Group Managing Director, Daniel Hall, to join us and to share a word of two with us. Also to look at what is the trend in 2022, what is new, what sort of things that we should look forward to. Yeah. Now, before I actually pass the time to Daniel, let me quickly read about his biography. It's actually quite long, so bear with me. So, yeah, today we are very privileged to have Daniel Hall to join us. So he is the co-founder and group managing director of IQI and JUI IQI. So Daniel has served as the IQI group managing director since it is established back in 2011, so about 11 years now. Since then, he has built IQI into one of the top real estate agency or firm in Southeast Asia, with five major regional hubs, including in Malaysia, Vietnam, Australia, Dubai, and Canada. I will just look at our YouTube just then. We have 21,000 property agent, and actually that was when we did the video, that was last year. And as of today, we have more than 25,000 property agents within the group now, spanning across 20 countries. So amazing work. That is amazing. So Daniel is pioneering entrepreneur. He is author and also a public speaker. As a group managing director of JUI IQI, Daniel has led the merging of the two super brands, which is the IQI and JUI, into one of Asia's largest and most successful prop tech company. He is responsible for developing and overseeing the execution of the group-wide strategies covering products, sales, marketing, and development to make sure JUI IQI always stay in the front line in the industry. And Daniel himself has over 20 years of global and regional experience in the corporate, business, market, and real estate. So with his experience in this, in all this area, he has been invited to be on the advisory board for a few of the public listed development companies. So he has a big job. And to provide service around concept and commercialization strategy for new development. All right, now, without further ado, join me, welcome Daniel.
Hi, Lian. Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and help us to kickstart this exciting 2022 first IQI Prop Talk, IQI Australia Prop Talk.
My pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, no problem. And 2022, an exciting year. Lots of different things coming up.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
right.
So I believe that
And
there is.
looking
Mm,
back, when we talk about IQI, from our
yeah.
humble beginning 11 years ago, we started with just 6%.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored and so proud to be able to work alongside more than 25,000 agents or warriors
Mm,
today as we continue to grow. And as a matter of fact, last year 2021 was our best year ever, in spite of COVID. In spite of many disruption all around the world, in 20 countries that all the 20 countries that we are operating, most of the country on average grow by 100%, with exception some of the country that grow exceedingly exponential. I would say, for example, Canada, they are growing to the tune of 1,000%. And of course, IQIWA is among some of the fast moving and fast growing, I would say, officers, one of our top officers. Congratulations to all of you. You guys have done a great job. And let's continue to be very optimistic moving forward as we enter into 2022. There are many challenges as well as opportunities.
of course. Yes. So yes, 2022 will be a great year. A
That's
year that
right.
we really have to work hard and expand.
That's right. And today, what I want to probably share, if it's okay with you, I want to talk a little bit
Yes.
about perhaps some global trend that is going to happen, taking place from now onwards in the next 1-2 years. I think that's very important for us to be able to anticipate or to be able to see what are the potential things or occurrence that might happen in this short term to the midterm, so that it will help us to strategize how we want to navigate our business. And that's number one. Or how do we want to live our life? Or even many countries, they always go back to projection. They always go back to what are the potential major trends or major happening that's going to happen in this world, so that
Mm,
countries can be governed efficiently as well. I think these are all essential stuff. And being a real estate warrior, I think what I want to touch on is not all the major trend, but some of the major trend that may be relevant for the real estate industry. And in particularly, what I want to talk about, the first major trend that is going to take place in our days now, moving forward, is probably it is going to be a period of inflation. And I want to cite one example, and I want to take the country United States being the example. As of today, United States, when we look at the last 2 years due to COVID, it has spent a total of 13 trillion, being the total expenditure that this country has expensed out. Namely, the breakdown of these 13 trillions, the first one is 5.3 trillions is set aside for COVID costs. And this is important because there are many people that requires hospitalization, medical aid, so on and so forth. On top of that, the country in itself printed 4.5 trillion under their QE. And in these last 2 years, it has generated close to about 40% of all the money supply that US has. And these 4.5 trillions are expensed out in many of the social costs, say, for example, like Medicare, so on and so forth. And finally, you have another 3 more trillion that is being expended out for infrastructure development. And when you look at a country, this country is one of the most innovative country. They have a lot of successful companies. And look at their top 500, Fortune 500 companies that drive the market, that drive the business environment. This country is basically, they have no choice but to continue to print on money. Why? There's a lot of cost that's associated with COVID. And you may know also, because when the money supplies increases, it actually drives inflation. So in year 2021, as a matter of fact, 6.8% is the inflation rate for United States. And that is the highest in the last 40 years. Imagine that. And there are many ways that United States can govern, but no matter what, when you have a big government expenditure, you still have to balance it with income. And if you want to balance it with income, you will have to basically look at what are the ways. There are a few ways that a government can balance their income. Namely, they can raise taxes. And that's evident that there is a lot of pressure for United States. And not only United States is doing all this, they are looking at how they can balance their income by raising taxes or by looking at corporate companies that does very well to perhaps tax them more. So this is just one classic example, United States. But occurrence like this, planning like this is happening in all the countries that is impacted by COVID. And countries by countries, we have a different mix of their monetary and fiscal policy. And all of this is becoming one of the stimulus that is driving inflation. And money supply is just one of the reasons. But on top of that, you can see that supply chain, namely some of the disruption that is happening in the supply chain, say, for example, the microchip disruption, it is causing an inflationary pressure in the auto manufacturing industry. And this supply chain disruption is also happening in many other industries. And supply chain disruption is also correlated with the logistic because, and when you look at the shipping industry, if a shipping container can take a load of 100%, eventually due to supply chain disruption, took a load of half the load, say for example 50%, and they got to move. The cost of transportation, logistic become more and more expensive, and that cost eventually is being passed over to the end user. So all this is driving an inflationary environment, and with the price of oil and gas hovering at about $80, that's not helping the environment. That's not helping the whole inflationary curve or control, because $80 per barrel is pretty high, and many manufacturing material, cost of energy is deriving from oil and gas. So we are entering a period of inflationary. So having said that, many buyers is still expecting to be able to purchase a home at a discount. So these are the things that there is a mismatch in the market. Buyers that has been withholding their buying pattern for the last 2 years due to COVID, as they are entering into the market, as they see some certainty in the market where market is opening up, there is no longer, country is no longer interested in locking down. So as they enter into the property market wanting to buy, perhaps they want to start a new family, or for whatever reasons, they are still expecting a discount, hoping that, perhaps there are some pretty good deals out there. But what I can tell you is more and more, as developer moving into the market, starting launching new project in the market, they are going to pass on all these costs, because cost of raw material, cost of iron, cost of copper, cost of building material, labor cost is going up. And evidently, I used to have my breakfast, and I love noodles as my breakfast. And the bowl of noodles that I normally have, a couple of months ago, I bought it at $6. Today, I have to pay $7 for it. Our essential goods is all going up. So as a real estate agent professionals, we have got to be mindful of this, as this is going to be one of the key drivers in the next 2 to 3 years moving forward. Another major trend that I want to talk about is the rise of entrepreneurship. There is a saying in Chinese, "Ma sei lok te hang," meaning to say, when the horse died, get down on the ground and walk. There are many industries that was displaced by COVID. In these last 2 years, you can witness airlines, hospitality, manufacturing, retail, F&B, even for the matter, financial sectors are impacted by COVID. And many have lost jobs. And out of that, they have no choice but to look for another source of income. So a lot of people who was displaced became entrepreneur. They took on entrepreneurship. They set up a small store, or they rely on certain platforms that have a great ecosystem to rebuild their life. What do I mean by that? Some of these platforms, say for example, the platform there is as you can see in Taobao, Amazon, Uber, so on and so forth, or even Grab in our region. This is widely used. A lot of people have hopped over onto all these platforms to rebuild their life, to generate some form of an income. As a matter of fact, in IQI, we have witnessed a tremendous increase of people coming over because the platform that we have built is a sustainable ecosystem, and it has changed many lives. It has helped many people to rebuild their life and generate a very attractive income for themselves in the sector of property, of course. And this is one of the, I would say, cluster of people that is going into the entrepreneurship sector. There's another cluster of group of people that is also coming in, that's causing the rise of entrepreneurship. These are basically driven by what I would call them as the young and dangerous. They are young, and these are the group of people that are pretty savvy technologically, but at the same time, they currently have their own job, earning paycheck to paycheck, but at the same time, they have enough of paycheck to paycheck, and they want to change. Many young people today, they want to be able to do something that they are passionate about, something that they can create a big impact in their life and the life of the people around them. So there is a movement of young people entering into entrepreneurship, as they also, are partly influenced by the many TV show or reality show like Shark Tank, so on and so forth. And they are entering into entrepreneurship as a real estate professional. We have got to ask ourselves, what is there to present to us? Some of us in the sectors might see it as an entrance of more competing people, or the competition level is going to rise. But on the other hand, for those who is operating in a technologically sustainable platform, they can see that this is one of the way they can grow their business, generate passive incomes as more and more people come into this industry. So this definitely is one of the global trend that is happening, the rise of entrepreneurship. One of the other major trend that is also happening today, this morning when I read the newspaper, I came across an article that says AirAsia is classified as PN17. And in Malaysia, the classification of PN17 would deem that the company has issue to continue on its operation because it has been losing money for the last 2 years, and the sustainability of that company is in question. So PN17 is a classification given to all these companies, and technically speaking, they have about 18 months to regularize their operation. And AirAsia, being a giant in its heyday, they are facing this difficulty. And this is one of the disruption that COVID is causing. But on top of that, for those sectors that is deemed manageable or unimpacted by the COVID, there is also a rise of disruption in their sector. Why? Generally speaking, all this disruption is caused by increased competition. And many companies today, in all the sectors that we can see, any sectors that you go in, you can witness there is a rise of competition within that sectors, and those competition is disrupting the leaders of that industry, and those who is savvy, those who has the edge in terms of technology, or they digitize their business better, or they have some mode that they are able to build, they will do much better and better. As a matter of fact, when you look at the sector of real estate, many of the estate agents, they operate on a silo basis. They operate individually. When there is a rise in competition, they would felt that they are being tied on to a treadmill, and they will have to run that treadmill at a particular pace. And every year, that pace is increasing in speed. It is getting more and more difficult. And some of the estate agent that I do know, they do ask me, Daniel, I have been doing this, and I felt that if I do not improve next year, and if I retain the same efficiency as what I'm doing this year, and I carry it forward next year, I'm going to lose out my market share. I'm going to lose my market share. I'm going to lose my source of income. Why is that happening? So what I can say is, when I look at, there are so many silo operators within the industry that is facing these difficulties, I felt that it is no longer feasible to operate business on a silo basis. It is very difficult to retain a sustainable practice on an individual basis. Right now, when you look at some of the very successful companies, they depend on the platform. They build a great platform. They build a great ecosystem. And this is the way moving forward. Companies like Grab, say, for example, they do not own cars, but they build an ecosystem that is sustainable for them to move forward. A lot of companies is building on more and more feature to help that ecosystem thrive very well. So the rise of competition is definitely going to be here for the next couple of years, and is also driven for the fact that as computing power is increasing in its capability, as microprocessor become more and more powerful, a lot of designers is able to come out with very innovative software to help businesses grow forward and move faster. And the final trend that I want to share today is there is a trend for organization to utilize cybernetics in their business model. What do I mean by that? Cybernetics is a combination of human capability combining theirs with machine capabilities. And cybernetic rise is deemed because in the early days when we are in the early days of human history, we are basically whatever we want to eat, we go and hunt. Say for example, the meat that we want to eat, we go and hunt for the meat. The fruits that we want to eat, we go and gather. But eventually, human progresses. We enter into a period of agricultural period. That is where we learn how to farm, we learn how to domesticate animals. Thereafter, we move into a period of industrial. And in the period of industrial, we build steam engine, we build railroads, we improve transportation, we learn how to do production lines so that we increase production capacity and efficiency of a company, so on and so forth. And we enter into thereafter an age of information. In information age, we talk about internet, we talk about broadband, we talk about connectivity, we talk about computers, so on and so forth. We talk about an era where every single information that we want to learn about is made available to us. And all these machine in the information age is doubling in its capacity every 2 other years, according to Moore's law. And as we transit into Huang's law, which is also doubling every 2 years, the continuity of that doubling is there. And that is causing the capability of machine to surpass human capability. As a matter of fact, Elon Musk himself has predicted that perhaps machine intelligence will surpass human intelligence in the year 2025. And think about it, 2025 is just about 3 years from now. And if the intelligence of machine really surpasses by then, where will human be? Will we as a species be totally displaced by the machine? So when you look at this trend, machine capabilities is rising. More and more people and organizations start to combine human capability with machine capability. To cite one examples, in the area of medical, we can see that when it comes to diagnostic, when it comes to operation and treatment, the doctors today, they use machine to assist them. If they have a cancer patient, it's easier to diagnose a patient with a machine that can scan the entire body. And the machine can diagnose more accurately compared to what a human can do. When it comes to operating a patient, by using machine and with a few remote control, the doctor can do precision operation where the cut in itself is limited, and the doctors do not need to, basically make a big cut, to operate. And all of this is aided by machine. This is just one sector. The other sector, if we can look at, is probably in the sector of stock trading. 5 years ago, we heard about high frequency stock trading. Machine is trading, and they trade faster than human, and they are eating into the market share in terms of the total volume of trade. Today, when you talk about stock trading, 90% of all the stock traded in the US stock exchange are traded by algorithm. And the largest private equity company that manages total asset of more than 20 trillion US dollars in the world, this company, BlackRock, not only do they manage 20 trillion, they control 50% of the ETF funds. They also control about 40% of the listed company in United States. Central banks like Central banks of European Union, as well as Japan Bank, use their software to come out with fiscal policy and monetary policy to better govern, the flows of money. So this company have developed a software called Aladdin. It stands for Asset Liability and Debt Derivative International Network. Aladdin is an AI that has helped BlackRock to grow by leaps and bounds. And you can see companies like this relies on machine capability to do better in the marketplace. When it comes to our sector, real estate, are we relying on machine capabilities to expand our capacity to serve the market better and make us more efficient? In IQI, we develop our own algorithm to better help our warriors grow. I'm so happy and I'm so glad to be able to see that today, as we operate in more than 20 countries, we can see that one countries and the other countries are totally connected. They can reach out to each other. They know how to work together by using our technology, by coming together in a social fashion, but enhance that capability using technology, using algorithm. We will be able to decipher some of the data that is in the market and help us give valuable insight to clients and potential buyers. So in a nutshell, how I see moving forward this year is going to be another exciting year that is full of opportunity. And for those of us who is in the real estate industry, I think this industry will continue to grow by leaps and bounds. During COVID, we grow by about 100% as a group. And today, I think that floodgate is going to flow in greater magnitude. And I'm really optimistic that all of us will do very well. Most important thing is, are you relying on a platform that helps you to extend your reach, a platform that helps you to build a sustainable business where you can continue to generate income passively and actively? I think this is something that is important because, like it or not, as a realtor, everybody have a life shelf. When we generate a lot of active income, we have a life shelf, meaning to say, as our income climb when we are young, eventually it will taper down when we reach a certain age. But those are the time when we are tapering down, we acquire a lot of experience in the market. And this is where, with our business system that we have developed in IQI, it helps so many of our realtors to generate passive income. And my final parting words is, be optimistic about 2022 and even 2023. There are always challenges. With a lot of challenges comes many opportunity. With that, thank you very much. Leanne, I'll pass the time to you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Wow, 2022. That is so many amazing things that's going to happen. That a lot of unknown, but at the same time, it is so exciting. All this new stuff that's coming through. Things that's changed. There's so much changes that we need to adapt to. So stay optimistic, like what you say. And when you talk about the second point, just then the rise of entrepreneur, and you are right. Actually, during the last 2 years, I mean, in Australia, what I have noticed that a lot of people change the way they work, change the way they live, and a lot of people start, coming up with new ideas, working from home. Yeah, even though just like a small, baking business and things like that, but people just being creative, new things popping out, and they just find new opportunity. So when you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, that is so true. I never really actually pay attention to that until you mentioned it's like, it's true. People adapt.
In
They
fact,
change.
I would like to share one of the real story or scenario that happened in our group. We have seen one mother. She was displaced because the husband lost the job, and she has been a housewife all this while, and not generating any income, looking after the kids and whatnot. So when the husband lost his job in the engineering field as one of the engineer in a factory, the wife came into IQI and took on a part-time role as a negotiator and starting to learn the rope. Attend. She went into our academy and spent hours learning up all the knowledge and trade the what they call industry knowledge in the IQI academy. And thereafter, in about on the third month, she start to generate some deals. She start to get the gist of it. She start to close some deals. And as of today, she has already been joining us for the last 8 months. She is one of the top performer in Malaysia.
Wow. Congratulations.
And
Whoever.
the husband who initially after losing the job became a Grab driver.
Yeah.
He is now helping her and
Yeah.
also coming into the real estate sectors, and this is something that is very encouraging. This is definitely a movement that is happening not only in Malaysia but in many other regions. We are seeing the rise of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that is a great, great story and then great experience. And a lot of people, when they start thinking about entrepreneurship, they think about, challenge. It's going to be not easy. Is there any, what's the best way to put in? Any words that you will share with our audience there if they want to become an entrepreneur? What character must one have,
I think being an entrepreneur is like being a developer. I would equate that. Why? Because being a developer, when you want to develop a beautiful project, the first thing that you will do is when you go on site, you will do the foundational work. And during the time when you are doing the foundational work, there's a lot of pounding, there's a lot of drilling. You're pounding all the piles going deep down into the soil. This is the time where anybody who walks across the project site, they see, hey, there's nothing there. Where's the building? Where's the development? All the work is underground. So being an entrepreneur, when entrepreneurs or someone entering entrepreneurship, the first segments of work that they got to do is make sure your foundation is strong. And while you're building that foundation, most of the time you don't see a lot of result. You do not expect immediately tomorrow, or within 1 month you become the top sales. There are exceptions, but it doesn't happen most of the time. So while you are piling in deep, you are securing your future. Why do I say that? Because after when the piling works is done, when you put up a structure, the deeper your pile, the higher you can go on your structural works. So that's why I said the first stage is piling works, which you don't see a lot of result. Once your piling work is sufficiently done, you can go very high. While you go very high, this is the time people get to notice you. Wow, Lian, you are an amazing closer. Left, right, and center, you've been doing a lot of deals. Why are you able to do that? Share with us your secret. All this is made available because your pile is deep, your knowledge is deep, your capability is vast, and your network is strong. And this helps you to be very successful. And coupled with being in the right platform, you can even fly faster than everybody else. So when you go high on your structure, that's the second stage where people start to marvel at you. But the final magic is in the interior. How beautiful that development is subject to how intricate or how well the the interior is being crafted. And if an interior of a development is being done in the most beautiful fashion, that's the time where you say, wow, this development is amazing. It's 5-star or 7-star, so to speak. And what exactly is interior? Interior are all your technology, all your automation, all the support tools that you have acquired over the years, or that is being provided to you by the brand that you are leveraging on. So these are the things that is going to basically complete an entrepreneur. That's my version of it.
That is a very great version. Very well said. Can I be very honest? This is the first time I heard being described it that way, but it makes so much sense.
It is, because I think when I look back at the similarity, my journey as an entrepreneur, and so many other of our warriors' journey into this real estate entrepreneurship, they go through all these 3 stages. And if they understand this principle, they know where to build, eventually they will be an awesome entrepreneur.
And if they understand like what you said, the first stage is all about the piling, the molding, get your basic, everything's done. And you probably don't see all the result like what you say. You don't give up as easily. Yeah. And the other point that you mentioned about is the platform and the ecosystem, which I think that is one of the very important things, I suppose, that make IQI stood out from the others. So we talk about...
It is absolutely crucial, Leanne. As a matter of fact, when I look at platform is like a vehicle. And sometimes many entrepreneurs, they wanted to fly, but the vehicle that they are riding on is a bicycle.
Yeah.
So
can't go far.
and you just cannot expect miracle when someone is riding on the wrong platform. Say, for example, if I give Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton a skateboard, he would never be able to win an F1 race. No matter how good a driver he is, maybe a skateboard with wheels, he would not be able to win an F1 race. The same thing. If someone who is really good in real estate, but if they really want to be able to shine their brilliance to the maximum, to be really spread their wings and grow beyond boundaries, they has to be very selective in the platform that they are operating in. And with the right platform, it's just like a vehicle. Being able to seat Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes F1 car, he is going to do wonders. So the same with all the entrepreneurs. Is the strength, part of the strength, I would say 60% of the strength comes from the platform, and 40% of the strength are your personal capabilities.
Sounds perfect. So for all the real estate agent out there, if you would like to find out a little bit more about our IQI platform, how we can help you to accelerate your entrepreneurship or to bring you to a new high, definitely contact us and speak to us. Yeah. And we can actually speak of our own experience as well from IQI Australia. Having to join the IQI platform has definitely brought us to a lot of places that we never thought we could go. So we went to Japan, went to Dubai, and met so many wonderful leaders from all around the world who actually passionate about real estate. So IQI platform has been excellent, like what you say. You're only limited by, if you don't have that platform to help you to move forward. Yeah.
And one of the things that I really believe in is today with telecommunication devices like our smartphone, we can generally get connected with everyone in the world. And technology has allowed us to really feel that, hey, the world is so short, so near. Yes. Everybody is so near. Everybody can be so connected. Yeah. And if everybody can be so connected easily, why not real estate to be so transactable and to be so connected as well? And if you were to look into the practice of many realtors, they operate on a very location base. There's nothing wrong there. I mean, if they are, it's absolutely nothing wrong. But why not expand that capability so that we can really go beyond boundaries, beyond district, beyond provinces, and to be able to connect with like-minded warriors all around the world, transacting deals, working together on deals, unrestricted, and having all this backup in terms of country requirements, investment requirement, everything made available to you in your fingertips. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Exactly. It's awesome. Like what Lily, my director, always say, the population in Perth is only that much. And then through the platform now, we can reach that many of people around the world. And Perth is small, but now everyone is looking at Perth. Yeah. So you are very, very right for saying that extend and expand your expertise. Yeah. And I'm pretty aware of the time, and we are come to the end of the session. Is there anything else that you would like to add on, Daniel? A word of encouragement to inspire or excite us?
I would say 2022 is definitely a time of harvesting, and we has to be ready for all this harvesting. I think having the right platform is important. Having the right infrastructure, the right business model is important, but equally important is setting our mindset right. And as you may know, in IQI, we do not call ourselves agent, we call ourselves warrior. And I think it's very important for all of us. I just want to remind all of us that to adopt the warrior spirit, because warrior are a bunch of people that are very courageous. There will be challenges throughout the year. There will be ups and downs throughout the year. But if you notice, the high performers, in spite of the up cycle or the down cycle, they will continue to outperform everybody. They will continue to outperform the industry standards. So we are called to be different. We are here to really grow ourselves, to be able to reach the top. So dawn on the warrior spirit, enjoy 2022, and I will really be very excited to see all of you right at the top.
Thank you so much, Daniel. We're actually looking forward when the border open and we get to meet in person. Saying that, technology these days, like what you said, connect us all so close together. I basically get to see you every week. Before the pandemic, we probably don't meet as much, but now
That's right.
change the way we communicate. So 2022 is going to be a great year. Yeah, it's going to be a year that we all understand about the virus a little bit more, and we probably will be a little bit more confident in handling the pandemic, and we're going to be very comfortable or a lot more comfortable about how we work and how we actually stay connected with everyone, through the Zoom, through all this electronic or digital world. So, and most importantly, 2022, all of us is going to be ready to embrace the new way of living. Yeah. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and joining us. And thank you, Daniel, for sharing all this exciting and, very big knowledge with us.
Thank you, Lian.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, we are going to have another guest speaker coming along and talking about it's a migration package. More information will be posted on our website. So look out for that. And once again, thank you, everyone. Oi, ciao. Bye-bye.
Take care and stay safe,
everyone.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.